Hello and welcome to part 6 of the Hardinge Cataract lathe rebuild. I'm really getting excited about the way it's coming out. Today we're going to add some side panels and a door to the motor area and hook up some remote controls to the VFD. It'll be a potentiometer for speed control and a tail wagger switch for the forward and reverse and off. We might start working on the tail stock, maybe on the compound too. Probably do some oak fuming also. I really like that process. Anyway, let's get started. I got a piece of fairly thick brass here, brass sheet metal. I'm going to make like a switch plate and mount my speed control and direction control right there. Okay, I'm going to mount that in that tube right there. This stuff right here is good. It's real thick, stays on the tap. Tap heavy. Good deal. I didn't anticipate that. The threads are not long enough. Boy, that's a booger. Well, I went the next size up and I'm going to thread that for the fitting. I'm threading it, it's a metric fitting and I'm threading it with a US tap. I'm hoping it'll work. It's plastic, I think it might conform. It's just a little bit smaller, I think. I believe that worked. Even came through the back side just a hair. I like it. Well, some of you may remember on a previous video when I was painting this stand, I had trouble with this Rust-Oleum paint. I complained to Rust-Oleum and they sent me a case of this paint, which is real generous of them. I'll have cream colored or ivory, whatever it is, for a long time. Look forward to more machinery that painted this color. Anyway, I went back to Lowe's and I was going to buy a can of the same thing I returned, and I was going to do a test on a paint shaker to see if I could shake it extreme and make a big improvement. Well, when I went back to Lowe's, they'd rearranged all the cans and I wasn't sure if I'd be buying the same defective batch. So I didn't want to take a chance on that. So I'm not going to make a video on testing a paint shaker. But I did buy one and I want to show it to you. This is what I got right here. And I'm in no way advertising for them, although they may benefit from this. It's Mix Quick. I got a website on there, but they're available on Amazon, and I will put a link on there. And it shakes the heck out of these cans. Fairly easy to use. Do like that, and it's got a little ratchet style clamp. They're kind of expensive. I think they're $32, $30. Can't remember. Anyway, check this out. Okay, I shook that for about 1 minute. I think they say to shake them for 3 minutes, but I guarantee that's shaking more than 3 minutes worth by hand. So, if I have trouble with this can, that's going to be not going to look good on Rust-Oleum. But I've used this can before and it works good. Hopefully it's the same color. Looks close enough to me. A friend of mine told me about these things. For some things, they're fantastic. They fit under little screw terminals. Billy from Knox Machining. He also helps run the Knoxville Makerspace. He's the one that built the controller for my CNC lathe. He told me about these, and it was really helpful hooking up my CNC lathe. I like it. There we go. Now those can be on those terminals as needed, on the VFD terminals. Okay, before I program this thing, let's take a look at how it works right now. There's your 110 volt in. There's your three-phase wires out. They can be wired in any order. If you reverse any two, it goes the opposite direction. That's all I know about three-phase. These terminals right here are what I'm going to hook these wires to right here that I just made up. And I'm going to program this to run off of these controls right here. It's going to be a forward, off, reverse, and that's my speed control. So that'll do a couple of things. It'll make it easy to function, plus it will protect. These are kind of flimsy little buttons and stuff. That'll make it everything last longer, I hope. But let's is run, forward and reverse. It ramps down and goes the other direction, and stop. Okay, these here will be the side panels. They're just slightly over width and a little bit too long, and I'll glue them up and then trim them to fit. It'll go in on the inside. Fit between the two uprights. Of course, it'll be fumed like the rest of it. I think that'll look good.
And I have no idea what some of this stuff is. I will not put this in what is it, but maybe some of you can identify these as regards to what machinery they might be used on.
I'm watching Mr. Pete.
We do know that's a major brand. There's the patent and everything on it. I don't know if these are all the same.
He's opening up his 80th birthday gifts.
Or what, but leave a comment in regards to what those tool holders are for. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
This won't fit a jeweler's lathe.
Mr. Pete's getting some big tooling.
A couple more quite large ones. You know, this one looks like it might take those inserts I'm going to show you. 5, I believe.
Wow, that looks fairly flat.
Even it got splintered a little bit. And I don't even blame the post office for that because this is so heavy. All I would say about the post office is that they need to make the boxes thicker. That's about 5/16.
Looks like Mr. Pete's having a good birthday. Okay, we got our two side panels here and here. And I'm going to trim that tongue off of there and leave that little bevel on the edge and then trim it to size on this edge. It's almost the right size. And then I'll recut that bevel on there, and that bevel will give me some clearance for the weld beads. So it'll sit flat in the inside cabinet. It'll make sense when I put it in there. Here's the weld beads I was talking about. And this will go right in here to form my side panel. And no error in measurement. Okay, this door panel is going right here. I got to figure out some kind of hinge too. It'll be inset on top of this. That'll be the same level as my drawers also. Let's see. 17. Okay, I'm making it at least an 1/8 inch narrower. Probably an 1/8 inch on each side, so it's going to be 16 3/4. So I'm keeping these lines kind of symmetrical and centered. Anybody ever hear of a bimetallic strip? It's two different kinds of metal, and when you heat them up, they bend. They use them in thermostats a lot. This piece of wood is going to be a little bit prone to warpage. But if I put a piece of wood across the back of it and attach it, if the grain's going this way, it'll expand at a different rate than the grain being vertical, and that it will change with the weather and warp. So I'm thinking about getting some smaller angle iron and fastening that to the back of it on the top and the bottom, so only that edge is showing. But I'm not sure how I'm going to do it just yet. Okay, instead of a piece of angle iron on the top and bottom of this door, I'm just going to mount a piece of steel. Put a screw there, there, and there, wood screw. Then I'm going to drill a 1/4 inch hole right there. And these brackets I just made will go right there and right there. Test fit this door here. First I got to cut out a place for clearance for all this mechanism right there. I've got my router table set up where that bit can cut out a section, and I got stops here and here. I'll just do it like that. I've done that before and it works pretty good. That'll work. Well, I was having trouble figuring out how to mount this panel in this spot right here. Right there. I need that panel to hook my drawers to. And I was digging around in a hardware box I got, and these are left over from a DRO install, and they're going to work perfect. I like it. These right here support a shelf that's that thick. Okay, I'm getting ready to sand these 3 panels, the 2 side panels and the door. I think I said before, this is a shelf support. When that's mounted in the side, that'll be the shelf below the motor. Right now I'm just going to sand this and the 2 other pieces and put it in a fuming chamber. I've got a chamber built. I think it's big enough. Okay, I got the 3 panels done. They're ready to go in the fuming chamber. But before we do that, let's check out this tailstock I got on eBay. Said it was missing one part, the lockdown, which I have on the really bad tailstock that I have. Oh yeah, that's not a crack. No, it's paint peeling off. We're good. Oh, outstanding. Doesn't look like much, but it's way better than the last one. Yeah, we're in good shape. Okay, I got it, the wood piled in a tub, and I've used this for fuming before. We'll just put that on the top and put a couple of bricks on it. I think it'll be all right. Well, the ammonia is fuming the wood out there. Let's start working on this tailstock. For some reason, this little lockdown that comes up when you lock it like that is too thick. It fits perfect otherwise. It's exactly like the other tailstock. This is a 1906 lathe. I guess the later models, which this is probably from, same design otherwise, but I'm thinking it has a wider slot in the ways because it doesn't fit. It looks like if I just shave some off the bottom, it'll work perfectly. Yeah, that was fairly easy. Okay, this has been in here about 18 hours. The last one is in here for, I don't know, between 11 and 12 hours. I sealed this chamber a little better, so it's probably got some fairly toxic ammonia in it. Okay, let's see what we got. Let me get my face shield. Very loud locust. Yeah, I like the looks of these. I like it. These self-tapping screws are amazing. Beats the heck out of drilling and tapping by hand. Well, I'm pleased with the way it's coming out. We still like drawers over here. I'll put a latch on this and a stop so it doesn't go clear through. My VFD will be mounted inside, and we got to put a back on it, of course. Next week we'll probably do the drawers, put a back on it, and get the tailstock going and the cross slide. Tailstock and cross slide is what I like to make this lathe usable. Maybe I'll do those first and do the drawers last. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Be sure and subscribe and ring that bell.